Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 replay cast. Finally glad to get back into the swing of it and whatnot. And we've got the tried and true here. It's going to be a Protoss versus Zerg. The very tried and true puCK versus JimRising. So JimRising spawning up in the top left-hand side of the map. Currently playing for Infinity Gaming. He's the Mexican Zerg player, streamer, caster. And spawning down the bottom right, it's puCK. puCK, also a streamer, and then plays at a very high levels. But these two guys, for those of you that don't know, I've cast them a fair few times on this channel. I've been casting them pretty much since I started casting, just because their replays are out there. So, and then they meet each other on the ladder a lot and create a lot of great Protoss versus Zerg games, or Zerg versus Protoss games, whatever way you want to look at it. But as far as this game goes, should be an interesting one here. Just got to check up on good old puCK and JimRising and see how their games are going. For now, puCK moves across the map with his pesky probe. Oh man, it's just going ham on those minerals. Just puCK trying to deny mining on that patch being as big of a pain as possible. Changing it up though, going for a different mineral patch. Wow, that probe, he's just bumping right there. But JimRising does get up his spawning pool. That's going to eventually put an end to this probe harassment that's just puCK being a massive pain right now. JimRising basically having to keep an eye on his workers. puCK costing him basically just pennies, but it's better than costing him no pennies. So, as this is going on, standard opening coming out on the puCK side of the map here. All the while, JimRising just doing his own thing. So, very, very standard stuff here. Now, let's see, what else do we have going on? Nope, not much else, just this probe being a pain here. As far as this CVP goes, the map is Port Alexander. I don't think I mentioned that yet. Getting back into the swing of it, guys, but we'll see how this one's going to work out here. Yeah, I'm not sure how these two will play it on this map. Your guess is probably as good as mine, so we're just going to sit back and enjoy the ride. Not actually sit back, though, because then you guys wouldn't really be able to hear me. So puCK, his probe, finally returning on home after collecting those minerals. He's returning home with his prize, his bounty for all that hard work of harassing JimRising. A Stargate is on the way for puCK, tucked right on into that corner. Nicely done. Hoping to avoid any potential Overlord scouts, and good call by puCK because JimRising's only Overlord is to the north. As this is going on, first Adept is out for puCK. Chrono boosting out probes behind this, got another Adept coming out behind it, and then just that Stargate on the way. Third base should be going up for JimRising relatively soon, as that is going on. Yeah, around the 3-minute mark. Sometimes sooner, sometimes a little bit later. Really depends on the Zerg, how they're feeling, what they had for breakfast last night. But for now, though, puCK comes on in here with his one Adept, shades on in, throws one of those glowing frisbees at one of those units. Hits one of the lanes, picks off a drone now. That Adept does want to shade on out of there. Those lanes are getting desperately close to, or dangerously close to surrounding that Adept. Oh, it might actually go down. It's going to be so close. The Adept does go down. So puCK picking off that one drone, suddenly not as good as you'd think, because that was one drone for one Adept. JimRising will take that trade any day of the week. And very nicely done by JimRising. Just shutting that down, doing what he needed to do as the Zerg player. And now we've got Spore Crawlers on the way, so he's already anticipating this Oracle, a very just solid build coming out of JimRising. puCK, he's going to have to work pretty hard if he wants to get some damage done here. JimRising is moving out with his queens and whatnot. Meanwhile, the Oracle's going to fly on by. Heads right by an Overlord, so JimRising definitely knows that it is an Oracle out. And look at that. Positions his queens in position to shoo this Oracle away. puCK is going to try and sneak around to find whatever he can. Maybe he'll throw up a stasis ward. Maybe he'll just go for some drones. Or maybe he'll just park his Oracle here. Above that, I want to say it's a ship. Under there. So here goes that Oracle, picks off 2 drones. Gotta be careful, gotta get on under there. Doesn't get a third. Manages to pick up a third though right at the end there. Gets on out, takes a bit of damage there, but three drones for an Oracle. The Oracle's still alive, of course. An alright trade for puCK. Nothing too significant. As I say that, JimRising fires up 9 more drones, 10 more drones. More drones pretty much always on the way. And then Ling is just poking and prodding here for JimRising. puCK, he's getting up his third base, so got just the safety number of Adepts. We'll see what he's going to tech into after this, though. The Protoss got to be making up his mind relatively soon, I feel. He's actually going up towards a third Oracle, so puCK, he's got 2 Oracles out, going up to another one there, and there we see a Robo go up, but we'll see if he throws a Twilight Council or anything. Throws up a Forge first. Twilight? Do we have a Twilight Council? Going once. Going twice. No, puCK does not have the money, if we take a look at that. So maybe we'll see a Twilight Council in just a second here. There we go, Twilight Council on the way up. Double Robo, Forge, Twilight Council. That's a Protoss who's going into all the tech. Meanwhile, these Oracles sharking around, trying to get some damage done. These 2 Oracles, what have they got done so far? This one Oracle has not got a whole heck of a lot done in the bottom right there. Not having any kills. Roach Warrens on the way here for JimRising, so just going for that sort of safety Roach Warren, getting a +1, making 8 Roaches for now. Could always go on the offensive, getting up this lair as well. We'll see if he starts that Roach speed, maybe throws up a Hydra Den or something else. 3 Oracles actually coming on in here for puCK, though. Okay, so getting some nice damage done here. Picks off one of the queens. Going to be going for the second. Manages not to get it. Actually, that was so close. It was so close. I thought he did have a puCK circling back. Yeah, he wants that queen, and he gets that queen. Nicely done. So puCK, interesting play here. Just a slight alteration in Protoss play. Got 1 more Oracle than the usual. And that allowed him to pick off those queens that were hanging out there. They were not safe from those Oracles, and now as this is going on, puCK, double Immortal production on the way behind this, getting ready for a big swell of Roaches that could potentially come on, and you just gotta have those Immortals to be safe. JimRising, though, he is just getting up a Hydra Den. He's making 8 more Roaches, right as I say that. JimRising might have bad intent, but I don't think he's gonna be going for a big attack or anything. As puCK, that's exactly why he's making these Immortals, to make sure he'll be safe from any sort of aggression. And I don't see these Roaches or Lings getting too much done. The Oracles out on the map as well do spot them. We'll see if they activate their Pulsar Beams. Could start going for those Roaches. So far they have not, but puCK in absolutely no danger just yet, until JimRising at least gets out a lot of these Hydras. And if JimRising, he's a very good StarCraft 2 player, but if he's good at one thing, it's making a ton of Hydralisks. He makes them in a lot of his games. Lings come on in, trying to get a bit of harassment. puCK's got to get those probes back to mining gas, but other than that, good defense. Not taken. He's lost 3 probes this game, so no major damage has been done on either front. There we go, these Oracles, they're now starting to chase away those Roaches. puCK getting territorial here, sending those Roaches away, but these Hydras actually almost catch one of the Oracles. That Oracle, so lucky to get on out of there, and puCK keeps them alive for now. Oracle's very useful for, like, stasis wards and things like that. And as this is going on, okay, getting back into it, I apologize about that, guys, but puCK coming on in here. Phoenix just going to be cleaning up this poor Overlord, flying into a cannon and a Phoenix. There's no winning there for him. And then we do have JimRising moving out on the map. Maybe they're looking to put some aggression on, and the supply definitely tells a story here. Now, Zerg can overwhelm with Roaches and Hydras to a Protoss rather easily, in a sense, unless that Protoss has something to, you know, shoo that Zerg away. And puCK has got up to that Psystorm, so one nice Psystorm goes down. Might just be all that he needs in order to send JimRising packing here. There goes another Psystorm. JimRising pretty good at dodging those Psystorms, but eating a fair few here. His unit's rather bruised on up. That being said, he's still up on supply, still going to keep poking puCK. Picked off one gateway. Got to be careful. Very clumped up. Does not want to keep eating those Psystorms. puCK does have energy for those Psystorms. We'll see if he calls on in more here. Just knows that JimRising is going to be waiting to split on into him, but he does get a fair bit of damage done there. All for the cost of 2 gateways for puCK. Picked off a fair bit of JimRising's army. And the main thing is JimRising doesn't really have much more of a plan going on right now. All that there is that muscular augments on the way here for JimRising. Not much else, just churning out more Hydras, more Roaches. As puCK is teching up into this better army, he's going to be having a growing Immortal count, getting lots of High Templar, so Storms for days, which can just annihilate this Roach Hydra composition if it gets a good engagement. And so, the way this game's going, unless JimRising can break puCK soon or pull him out of position or something, then it's going to be looking rather good for puCK. puCK is stepping on out, a little bit over-eager, I feel. JimRising with a very nice concave sends puCK back, punishes him for stepping out and getting a little too over-eager there. Looks like puCK, though, planning on getting up a 4th base, judging from that probe hanging out, though. Archon gets found, manages to sneak away. puCK's immortal count has been grown, though, currently up to 8 immortals versus 38 Hydras. A nice stasis ward before puCK catches a good chunk of JimRising's army, but still, JimRising with a very nice concave. He knows that engaging Psystorm is a very risky thing for the Zerg, so he's just being so careful here. Just those storms are going, but JimRising's already pulling out of them. Those Hydras that are about to pop out of that stasis might have a bit of a bad time here. JimRising looks like he's planning on going on in. As this is occurring, the Hydras, they have to kite back. They have to be ready to dodge those Psystorms. JimRising, not standing in one place for long, has to retreat due to this Psystorm. And let's see now, these Hydras, yeah, they are retreating. Psystorm goes on down. Immortals firing away. And puCK, he is still just growing this immortal count, though. I mean, his army is just going to become overwhelming. But okay, here we go. JimRising sort of planning his next move here, starting to split up his army. Found puCK's 4th base, actually going to be able to pick that off from the looks of it. Might cost him a few roaches and hydras, but also engaging on this side here, so picking off some zealots. Going to run right into a stasis ward, though those stasis wards for puCK have been gold. But these hydras and roaches now moving on in towards the natural. Army is getting cleaned up to the north. Meanwhile, as this is going on, JimRising, he's got these overlords waiting, getting ready to maybe drop a payload there if some units ever show up to get on in. But for now, JimRising is retreating. puCK's holding on. He's took a fair bit of damage losing that Nexus, but by no means is he in critical danger or anything like that. Still got lots of Psystorm. Still got a massive, very scary army here. 12 Immortals in total, and that number not growing any more just yet, but still 12 Immortals. You're a pretty happy Protoss. puCK still just got his 4th base. He's now hitting that stage in which he's looking to counterattack. Army supply-wise, he's in a pretty good spot right now. These Zealots, they're going to be able to find a hatchery. puCK lost a Nexus. Looks like he's going to be returning the favor there. But as this is going on, JimRising going for a killer move here, dropping these Roaches and Hydras into puCK's main base. He might just have to recall this army, but he's actually just moving across the map. He's not going to try and put out these fires. He's going to go and hit JimRising. He's got Zealots on this one side. They're going to be getting cleaned on up, but he is committing on in. This is a little bit concerning for puCK because his main base is being destroyed here. He's going to be losing his production as this is going on, and he doesn't have a lot of Zealots or work with him with this army, so what you see is what you get. Tons of Immortals, and a High Templar is the only army for puCK. I mean, it's a pretty strong army still pushing forward. These Immortals and so many High Templar are just giving JimRising a very tough time here, but look at puCK's main base. It's pretty much just been forgotten about. He has thrown up stasis wards to stall his opponent at his natural. He's throwing up the "we're going into a base trade" Dark Shrine. puCK looks like he's trying to pick off more of these bases right now. Looks like one of them is going to be going down, though, and also picked off this other location. For now, here we see JimRising. He's trying to get down, but the stasis ward doesn't let him, so not stuck in this main base for now. These Immortals are looking to keep trying to push on up. A lot of those High Templar are getting picked off, though. JimRising, fantastic focus fire, and suddenly puCK taking a very bad engagement. They're not paying attention, it would seem, losing all of his High Templar, which were his main anchor point in this game. puCK recalls some of these Immortals, but he's going to lose at least one of them there. And these Immortals, they just get recalled to this natural, and I'm not sure if puCK's going to be able to save it. Army supply is still even. puCK, he's got 4 Immortals chilling to the bottom side here. Gets these High Templars in here to start working away on these Roaches and Hydras, but High Templar needs some sort of support. Another stasis catches some more of these units, but puCK, he's still having a tough time cleaning up what JimRising has. He's got his 4th base still going, but his Robos are being unpowered. Most of his gateways have been lost. He's frantically trying to throw up a few more here. More stasis wards getting thrown up. JimRising's army, it's looking rather scary here at this point for puCK. He needs these Immortals. These Immortals are so late to the party here. Not helping out at all. That's a pretty big mistake from puCK. He's got cannons and shield batteries, though, and another stasis ward catches JimRising out, turning this army into maybe manageable portions here. JimRising coming up this ramp. Psystorm goes down. There's one of them. Fantastic engagement there. Will we see some more Psystorm going down? These units coming out of this stasis ward could be having it a bit rough here. Is puCK gonna Psystorm them? That stasis ward running out. Where is it? There's the Psystorm. Where is it? There's the Psystorm landing. These Immortals coming back. Is it just in time, though? The High Templar are all getting picked off here. There's only one remaining at this point. And looks like puCK going for a bit of a counterattack here with those 4 Dark Templar. It is DT time. Both these players, their bases are in chaos. And what bases remain? That is JimRising. He lost his 4th base. He lost his 3rd. He's just rebuilding that now. And now he's got these DTs. But oh, he did actually catch those DTs. Overseers. JimRising not having a fast one pulled on him there. And now puCK with his 2 bases has got to be able to hold on versus this army. It's a surprisingly even game. It's tough to say exactly where it's at right now. We're seeing these Hydras are coming on in. Should be seeing some Psystorm go down relatively soon. And, yeah, let's see here, these Immortals. Okay, yeah, looks like puCK trying to warp in more DTs, I guess, just whatever he can at this point, try and find some damage. He knows it's important that the Zerg can't reestablish his economy, otherwise it could get out of hand very quickly. puCK, though, just built up this strong army once again. He's got the Psystorm, he's got the Immortals, that's really what you need. He took a poor engagement over here before, and that really put him in a tough situation. He's now on the back foot for now. JimRising sharking about, looking for a good engagement. These Phoenix going for some nice harassment, hurting JimRising's economy, preventing him from getting it back on track. JimRising changing angles here, finds puCK trying to take another base. That base does get cancelled, so not a kill, a very nice move there. As this is going on, JimRising, he's teching up to lurkers on a bare bones economy here. Getting up that 3rd base is very important, but even then, JimRising's income is just not great, guys. It is not looking good for him in that sense. We see puCK trying to expand once again, knows he needs to get one of these locations up and hold on if he wants to stay alive in this game longer. JimRising is pretty all in there when he's going for it. Eats the Psystorm, a pretty nasty one there. puCK trying to secure up the space, trying to keep that going. And let's see, what else do we have going on here? puCK warping in an Archon. Just both these players, neither of them on great economies, but puCK is better for now. He's got this one fresh base that's really going for him. JimRising looking to try and shut that down. Got this Overlord with 4 Hydras in it. Going to be unloading here at the back, I imagine. And if the Hydras are good at one thing, it is massacring workers. They're high rate of fire, and they're pretty decent damage. Makes them get that done. puCK has to warp in Zealots to clean this up here. Hydras will probably just load on out and get out of there, so JimRising getting a nice bit of damage done there. Still just staying back at home. He's teching up into these lurkers, which are really the next step for Zerg. JimRising this entire game, he's pretty much just been on Hydralisk and Roaches, mainly Hydras up until this point, but now he's got these lurkers, these sick metallic lurkers, by the way. I haven't seen these skins nearly enough. As this is going on, though, puCK, he's unsure of what to do. It's tough to know in these situations whether you need to move out or attack. The supply's relatively even. puCK getting up another Nexus here makes me think it's probably a pretty good spot for him. JimRising, though, he's building up a very high lurker count. That's where it can become scary for the Protoss player, but supply-wise, puCK is ahead still. He's getting his economy going much better than JimRising. JimRising is trying to get up a 4th base, though. It's still down just to 29 workers, though. These Hydras, the Phoenix, gonna allow them to be caught by the Zealots here. Oh, it's 1 Hydra versus 1 Zealot. I think the Zealot does win that, though, since he's getting a lot of face time there. Nicely done. Now we're seeing these Hydras and lurkers coming on in here. Okay, here comes in JimRising looking to shut down this base. He's eating a lot of Psystorm on these lurkers. Those Hydra's even eating a lot too. And suddenly 4 lurkers just get picked off there. He's still able to pick off this Nexus so nicely done. puCK's too scared to engage on into that, and rightly so. There's currently 11 lurkers there. So JimRising picks off that base of puCK, very nicely done, able to prevent him from just having that runaway economy. puCK, he's got 49 probes, but he's very oversaturated since he doesn't have that Nexus anymore, and that might have forced puCK to decide to attack. He's double expanding as this is going on. JimRising, though, playing this sort of whack-a-mole style, though, able to pick off that base and keep himself alive in that game a little bit longer here. Now we see puCK, he's moving on down, runs right into these lurkers, has to back on out, drops a Psystorm on some of the lurkers. They're actually getting more of it going down there, so JimRising has to pull back those injured lurkers. Just all about positioning here, but look at this, JimRising, he's moving across the map now. He's looking to find one of these bases for puCK, and he could have just found one of these Nexus to shut it down. Fortunately for puCK, though, he is double expanding. JimRising, though, maybe catches wind of puCK's army positioning, thinking of pulling back. The army, it's looking pretty scary for JimRising here at this point. He's up on that army supply. He's got the lurkers. If he can force puCK into a bad engagement, this would be huge. Lurkers at that top of the ramp, not letting puCK move on in, but look at this, JimRising, he's moving out on the map right now. Finds this Nexus here. Gotta be careful, these Hydras are very bruised up. Cancels the Nexus, though. Nicely done. Fortunately for puCK, though, thinking 2 steps ahead, has that extra Nexus. So he's actually not in too bad of a spot. This game is just back and forth, guys. Let's take a look at another robo going up for puCK. Actually, 3 robos, because why not? You can never have too many immortals, I guess. And as this is going on, puCK, Archons and Immortals still just moving across the map with the observers, cleaning up creep, heading towards JimRising's 4th base, looking to put the pressure on the pros, on the Zerg player. puCK stepping forward though, eating some of those lurker shots. Immortals getting a bit bruised, but so far no big engagement going down just yet. Here we see JimRising. His lurkers are on siege. He sieges them all up. puCK, is he just going to go for it? He's walking for it into those lurkers, eating some of those shots, but loses a High Templar, loses an Immortal, and losing a lot more than he should have. Those lurkers catching puCK off guard there, and now these Hydras are coming in to surround this army, and this actually could be it for puCK. Hydra's coming on in right now. Lurkers just running on in here, absorbing shots, eating tons of Psystorm, but it's still looking rough for puCK. His army's falling fast. He's got more Psystorm to drop. He's got 2 Immortals and a High Templar left, but that's not a lot here for puCK. He's trying to run away with what he has, but that really does hurt puCK. He's got his economy going, though, so maybe he can rematch JimRising. Took that fight. It went pretty decent for him, though, but the worker count for puCK is actually starting to get overwhelming here. Look at this. puCK, if he transfers probes, his economy is going to be booming. Actually, he doesn't need to already. He's just still oversaturated here, but army supply-wise, it is surging ahead here for puCK. It wasn't looking too good there for starters, but now the way this game's just worked out is going better for him. JimRising can, of course, hold on with the lurkers here. That 5th base is on the way, but yeah, for now, let's see those Hydras. They're getting on top of these High Templar, picks off an Immortal there, I think it was. So JimRising still with these very scary units, but it's all going to come down to this one engagement. It feels like JimRising, he's stepping forward. These Hydras got to be careful. If those lurkers can burrow and force puCK into a bad choke point, that would be huge, but looks like puCK's just had enough. He's going up the ramp. JimRising tries to pick off the Observer. puCK keeping the other one alive, though. Should be seeing some Psystorm go down. Doesn't actually connect with the lurkers, though, so that's nice for JimRising. He's still just producing as many Hydras as he can. And now he's moving on north here, but look at that. puCK, he's waiting at the top of that ramp. Got reinforcements there. Looks like puCK collapsing on top of JimRising. I think this is going to be it. It's just too much for the Protoss player, able to overwhelm the Zerg, it looks like. But actually, the Observer gets picked off. puCK making 2 of those at a time here, and I think that should be plenty, all that he needs, really. Let's see, yeah, those lurkers are now forced to retreat. JimRising can go home. He's got 5 bases up. I mean, most of them are mined out, so he's got an economy going, but he is just down on workers. puCK's been continuous with his probe production. Army supply really telling the story here. That being said, lurkers can always buy you time, can always hang on. puCK, though, look at this. He's just starting to expand towards JimRising. He's moving on in. The lurkers are not siege right now. JimRising needs to get prepared for that. He was planning a counterattack, but now puCK just diving right on top of him. This lurker's not burrowed. It's still just too much for puCK, though. And JimRising gets shut down there. Nicely played by puCK. And good to get back into the casting routine here, guys. I'm going to have a lot more time to do so. And if you guys did enjoy this cast, make sure to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Trying to break that 2,200 subscriber mark. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.